Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell from the thumbnail and the title of the video, today I'm going to be talking about Prank Kids combos you guys need to know for post Phantom Rage. But I'm going to have an added bonus for you all. I'm also going to be showing some replays that I think are really good at showing how this deck functions. I try to include replays as much as I can now, just because I think a lot of people look at deck lists and it doesn't add as much value as also seeing like the niche interactions and the gameplay that's involved with the deck that you build. I think like for me right now, when people are like doing deck profiles and stuff, it's just that we see a skeleton, but we don't. But to get to like the meat of the bones, or like I guess to get to like the meat, you have to like see like the deck in action. And I figured like I'm gonna be showing you guys like some combos. I'm currently working right now on two types of like Prank Kid builds. One is involving polymerization in its build, and the other is more focused on Thunder Dragon Fusion and hand traps. I'm still testing and figuring out what is quote unquote better. They both have their pros and cons, but right now I'm leaning towards the Thunder Dragon build, or the Thunder Dragon Fusion build. If you guys are interested in learning more about like the different you know, types of build that you can have with Prank Kids, then definitely go check me out on my Twitch at twitch.tv/pack_official_TCG. You guys get to watch me play this deck live, as well as like look into like some of the other cards that Phantom Rage is going to introduce to the metagame, which I really think that November is going to be a crazy or a crazy month, because it's going to really change the metagame. I guess for good, just because the meta can be really stale, and I'm always someone that like enjoys a lot of change. Also, if you guys are interested in purchasing my new Infernoble playmat, also known as Infernoble Blade Works, it's a playmat that's based off of the anime Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. It's I think a rendition to one of my favorite decks of all time, Infernobles. It's a deck that you guys know me for. A deck that I've been playing and testing so much. And yeah, I figured if you guys want to support me, definitely go check out the mat. It's at packtcg.com. I finally created that website from scratch, which is kind of like crazy. But I was able to finally work on that and finish it up so that we can have the release of our first merch, which is going to be the playmat. So this is like super high quality 2-player cloth. I wanted to give you guys like, I guess, the best quality product as possible and not scuff on any of the details. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely go check that out in the description box below. But without further ado, as Sam would say, we're going to jump right into it. So first, we're going to start off with a 1 Prank Kid plus 1 polymerization combo. This is going to be for like the Prank Kid plus or the polymerization build. So we're going to start off with like Fanzi. It doesn't really matter what you start up with, but I guess we can show off Fanzi. We're going to start with Fanzi. Fanzi dumps Pandemonium, summon Dropsies, make Doodle Bird. I just called the card Bird. But anyways, you make Bird. You're going to chain block Bird so that Bird resolves. In this situation, the reason why you also do that is because you play around Ghost Ogre, and it makes Ghost Ogre really bad against your deck. It also makes Gamma really bad against your deck. So, but even if you do chain block this, if they have Imperm or Veiler, Imperm or Veiler doesn't really hurt this deck as much. And I'll show you a replay where we actually play through double Veiler on Bird. But anyways, we're gonna summon Fire. We're gonna get the Roxy's off of place, which is what we added off of Bird. So you might have thought here that like, oh, like Pack, that's an interesting choice. Usually I add Pandemonium with Bird. Why did you add Place? And also, why did you dump Pandemonium? Well, you'll see that like everything, every combo and every step that I do is all, I guess, integral to like the end board. So there's very specific lines of plays that I did to ensure that I end on Toad, and that's what the polymerization build offers. It basically lets you make a free extra negate. From here, we're going to trigger both rocks and fire and summon two water. We're going to make Toad here, use Bird effect to add back Pandemonium and the fire. Then we'll use Rocket Ride to bring back water and green, and or earth or wind. And then now we pretty much have Toad and Raigeki for 2. So that's going to be pretty much the first combo. It's not as resilient to Nibiru, and that's why I don't really like it, but it's something that you can consider. Next, we're going to have, essentially, what if we open a polymerization with 2 Prank Kids? I know there's 3 in here, which kind of changes the play a little bit, but I figured this will still give you guys like a skeleton for deconstructing the combo and performing it yourself. Anyways, we're going to poly the 2 non-water. You have to open up 2 non-water plus the poly. It's a 25% chance if you play 6 poly plus 13 pranks. And you summon 2 water. And from here, what you do is you overlay for Toad, and so that's your 4th summon. The Toad would be the 5th summon. And then from here, you would go Link 1 the Dropsies, make Roxy's, use Rocket Ride effect to bring back 2, link into Bird, search Pandemonium, Tribute Bird, add back the Plan, add back the Wind, make Bow Wow, trigger Bow Wow, summon the Fansies, and now at this point you have Toad Negate, you have a Pandemonium, which Bow Wow will get you Water and Fire, so you have a Battle Butler, and then of course you also have Plan for Raigeki, for Heavy Feather Dust if you needed it. So that's also like basically the 2 poly combo. I know I had to go normal summon Dropsies, but essentially what you would do is use Rocket Ride to bring back 2 monsters, and then just make Bird, and you can still combo from there. The next thing that I'm going to be showing you guys is essentially the 1-card Prank Kit combo to make Access Code. It's technically a 1.5 card combo because you need a 2nd Prank card in your hand, but this is a combo that I figured would be really, really helpful for you guys to know. And I think you play around usually 20 Prank Kit cards in your deck, so opening up 2 is very, very likely. So this is like basically any Prank Kit card plus any discard that's a prank card. We do pretty much the standard line play. Well, all we do is we search pranks, activate pranks to make a token, make the unicorn here, shuffle back a card, and from here we make access code. So that's a really quick and easy access code. If you're trying to kill your opponent, then you pretty much have 3 pops, especially going second. This is pretty good. Going second, if you want to kill your opponent, this is probably the line of play that you would go. So you have 1, 2, 3 pops. You have 1 shuffle back. And of course, if you have Thunder Dragon Fusion or any like version of those extenders, instead of summoning Roxy's, you would summon Dropsies, so that you can go access code and then activate Thunder Dragon Fusion and then pretty much kill your opponent. So basically, Thunder Dragon Fusion plus 1 prank plus 1 prank card, any prank card, can basically help you OTK your opponent there. Next, we're going to go into our first replay. So this is against Susu, so shout out to Susu from Head to Head Battles. I want to showcase you guys the power of Thunder Dragon Fusion. As niche as it sounds, my opponent has D-Shifter. He passes because he didn't open that well. He decided to be conservative and not play the Magileine. I mean, I guess he would have lost to Nib anyways. And he wanted to make his Shifter Gamma live, so he just decided not to play this. From here, he's going to Shifter me, and I chain Pandemonium to his Shifter, which gets all my cards in the graveyard. He's going to flip Gozy Match on the Resolution after I summon everything. It's important to note that Wind shouldn't have been able to special summon because I couldn't properly send a card from my deck to the grave. But that didn't really matter because it would have been a non-Thunder, which would have gotten banished anyways. But so, I mean, on Resolution, Gozen Resolve, and I'm going to basically keep only Wind because of Gozen. But Thunder Dragon Fusion here will let me make, shuffle everything back, make a 2nd Butler. And from here, I can just, you know, deal 6,000 to my opponent, and then whatever he does, I have double Raigeki, which is going to be really hard to play through, and I have Fansies for the follow-up. So summons, and I'm going to just Raigeki him, and then the game is pretty much over. And so that's the first replay I'm going to show you guys, just a little bit against rogues such as Madolche. Next is actually going to be against Invoke Dogmatika. This is a really, really crazy game, actually, and to figure, I'll show you guys some meta replays as well, just so that you can get a good feel of how this game, his deck works in the grind game and against meta decks. So my opponent wins RPS, and he opens like the God Hand. He like opens up Meltdown, which is Alistair plus Invocation Array, so it plays through a hand trap. He opens up Talents, Servant, and Ecclesia, which is crazy. He's gonna go Alistair. I could have asked Alistair, but the reason why I didn't ask Alistair was because I didn't want to play around Invocation, a hard draw on Invocation. I wanted to play around Gamma, because like a lot of the Alistair and Ecclesia decks now, they're playing Gamma in the main deck to essentially stop combo in their tracks. So if I Ash Meltdown, he could chain Gamma, make Omega because he's probably playing the Dogma engine, which means he has Omega in the extra deck, and because of synergy with Omega, rip an extra card out of my hand, and like I don't know, it just would be really, really bad. So I just like didn't want to take that risk. I'd rather play against Gamma, which is a 3-up, versus Invo, which is a 2-up. But of course, you know, he had the, I guess, Alistair DNA, as you would call it, or the Invoke DNA, whatever it is, man. He hard drew Invocation, never punish. Anyways, he's gonna activate a Dear Servant now. Send Schism. I'm sorry, send Ab Cologne. add Schism, dump Schism. So he's basically doing for the Shaddoll combo. He's gonna add Punishment, banish App Cologne. I'm gonna immediately on resolution activate Nib just so I make him waste the Alistair in his hand. And then he's gonna activate Maximus. I'm gonna send 2 cards. I'm gonna send Meow Meow just because I can banish it. Even I don't have to properly summon this card to banish it to use a prank effect. And then I'm gonna actually send Roaring Roaster. So Roaring Roaster is a really good card. It actually triggers when your opponent sends it off Maximus, which is a cool interaction that I wanted to show you guys. So when it's sent to the graveyard, because it says in your possession, it's kind of like Cyber Dragon Nova, which lets me add any card in my graveyard except a Link monster. So we can actually add back the Ash Blossom that we already used this turn. So we get a free +1 here, which is kind of nice. Then he's going to attack this us, but instead of looking at our hand, he actually decides to draw 2 cards, which I think was definitely a mistake. But, I mean, his hand was so broken, it honestly didn't matter what he did. But he had Imperm, so that was kind of nice. So he's going to set 3 and then end phase, resolve, Titan-Clad to search. And look at this, man. We're actually going to try to play through this. So we're going to start off with normal summon Lamsies, and he's going to immediately activate Schism. I'm going to chain the Call by the Grave, targeting his construct. And then he's going to chain Mechaba, which means he gets to make his Winda. I have Talents, so I'm able to use Talents to essentially take. I took his Winda, which was definitely a misplay because I should have taken Mechaba to attack with the Winda. But it didn't really matter. My logic was that if I knew he had Fleur-de-Lis, which was a misplay, but I thought he had Alistair, another Alistair in hand. But if I take Winda, I can Winda attack Mechaba, and then Winda is guaranteed dead. But if I take Mechaba and attack Winda, he can chain the Alistair to buff Winda, which means I would have a dead Mechaba, which would have gotten rid of his Mechaba, but then his Winda's still alive, which means I can't play. But I attack this, I take 300. And then main phase 2, I go for my combo, so I summon Meow Meow. I use the effect of Fire to Bird for 500, summon Roxy's. Doesn't do anything here, and I go Doodle Bird. He's going to chain Fleur-de-Lis to Doodle Bird, but I'm going to trigger Roxy's, so I'm going to banish as draw a card, which is Nibiru, which is really bad. Summon the Wind. From here, he's going to Punishment, but I'm actually going to chain Pandemonium, which is really good. So here's a really cool ruling thing that I actually learned. So when you try to do Punishment and target the Doodle Bird by chaining Pandemonium, it checks on resolution because the card is no longer on the field. It doesn't have an attack. Therefore, he can't send a card with equal or higher attack from the extract to the graveyard, which makes Punishment null, which allows me to summon Rocket Ride. I can then trigger the effect of Wind to dump a plan and then summon Dropsies. I can then, he's going to imperm the Rocket Ride on resolution. So what I do here is I make a water, gain 1,000, wake a bird, gain 1,000 off of water, summon the Roxy's. So I pretty much use all my Prankis effect at this turn. Then I'm going to activate the bird effect to add back Pandemonium and Dropsies to my hand. I'm going to set 1 and then pass. So I actually played that pretty well in my opinion. From here, he's going to go Maximus, and I'm going to send Battle Butler and Anaconda, and he's going to send Titan-Clad and Intis. So he's going to go Intis. And I'm going to go Chainlink to Butler. Butler has a cool interaction too if it's sent off Maximus. It actually allows me to target any non-fusion monster in my graveyard and special summon it. So I'm actually going to special summon back the Doodle Bird. And then I'm going to go Chainlink 3 Pandemonium. So I'm going to actually make the Weather Washer here and summon back the Doodle Bird. And then I'm going to go Chainlink 1 Rock, Chainlink 1 Rock, Chainlink 2 Water, gain another 1,000 life, summon back this. At this point, he's going to attack over Doodle Bird, and here's another misplay. On attack decoration, I'm going to use Prank Kid's Plan, which basically shuffles back Prank Kid's cards and make his monster lose 100 attack based on how many cards I shuffled back. I'm going to shuffle back exactly 6, as you saw, and he's going to die here. And so, like, this is, like, really, really important, right? Like, not a lot of people know these, like, really niche interactions with Prank Kids, which are, like, things you can do to use to your advantage to, like, outplay your opponent, which is why I think Pranks is a very strong deck. Right now, he's going to attack into this, buff all his monsters by 500 attack. He's going to attack into the Lamsies, and then at end phase, I'm going to use Washer's effect, but instead of tributing itself, I'm actually going to banish the Meow Meow, just so I save a resource, get back the Doodle Bird and the Fire. From here, I'm going to make the Link 1, and I'm actually going to turn this game around. Make access code, he's going to chain Fleur-de-Lis to it. Make Doodlebird with Roxy's and Dropsies. From here, he's gonna Ash the bird, which is chaining 3. From here, I'm gonna activate the bird effect to add back Pandemonium and add back Fire. Activate Pandemonium to make my Battle Butler. The only thing that's important to note is that Access Code loses attack gain because of Fleur-de-Lis. So I'm going to attack into Ecclesia. He's going to take some damage. I'm going to attack Ecclesia again. He's going to take some damage. And I'm going to pass. I have an Imperm, so at draw phase, I'm going to use Butler effect. And then just blow up his whole board. And then he's going to use Schism. And I pretty much win the game from here. And, like, that was actually crazy, right? Like, you guys saw right here that I outgrinded Invoke, Dogmatika, Shaddolls, and I actually won that entire match, which is, like, really, really nuts, right? Like, the Zek, even through, like, his best opening, I was able to play through it. Yeah, he definitely made some misplays here and there, but it goes to show that, like, you know, when you're playing a rogue decks, you can't afford to make misplays. Your opponent... like, you have to play perfect, right? Especially playing a deck that isn't quote-unquote tier 1. But I think this is a really strong deck that also requires, like, really good piloting. And these are, like, the types of decks that I enjoy. Next, we're going to basically go second against his deck. You see that I opened up no hand trap, even though I sided in 15. Which, for those of you who are math fanatics, you'll find out that that's a very, very high percentage to draw 1. We have a calculator here that shows in a 40 card deck, seeing 1 hand trap is 95%. Seeing 2 is 75%. So I mean that's really, really unlucky. So what can you really do, man? Sorry about that. Yeah. So I mean I'm pretty much just gonna lose this because I don't open a hand trap. I'll fast forward it just to save us some time. But I mean I don't open up a hand trap, and you're gonna see me draw like a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna skip this game because it wasn't as interactive and there's not really much we can learn from it. From here, I like to go first, and I'm playing against his deck now. So I got to show you guys what this deck can perform going second. Now let's see what this deck can do going first. I'm gonna go get Ash on this and pass, but it's fine. I have Imperm and Lancia. I'm gonna Imperm his Ecclesia, and then his Ecclesia is gonna attack my Meow Meow. I normal summon the Roxy's, and now from here I make the Meow Meow, trigger Roxy's, banish Lancia, draw a card, which is planned. I get to make Doodlebird. He's going to chain Fleur-de-Lis. You're going to find out that Fleur-de-Lis is really not that good against Doodlebird. We're going to dump the Pandemonium, and then we couldn't add off Bird. From here, we're going to trigger Water, summon Fire, trigger activate Bird to add back Pandemonium to our hand and add back Wind. I'm going to set 3 and then pass. He didn't want to nib here because he didn't want to lose his monsters, and the nib token would be really big for him to out. So what I did was I made Pandemonium and I made Weather Washer. I'm going to trigger both these effects to summon Water and Earth. He's going to attack this to draw 2, which is really good because he got into Engine. I didn't Judgment that because I wanted to Judgment his Alistair, but then I realized I don't even want to Judgment his Alistair because I have Lancia. So he's going to go make Secure Gardener, and then he's going to activate Invocation. I'm going to chain Lancia. And then when he goes into battle, I'm going to use Weather Washer's effect, and then bring back Doodlebird, and bring back Fancies. And then I'm going to link these two off using Plan to make Bow Wow, because it's a safer play. He's going to attack over Bow Wow, but I'm going to chain this effect to add back Place and Pandemonium, just to like keep myself in the grind game. He's going to attack over Green at that point. I'm going to activate Place, get Pandemonium, activate Pandemonium, make Rocket Ride. From here, I'm going to activate the Bird effect, add back Pranks, add back Pandemonium, activate Rocket to bring back 2. And then here, I just go straight to end phase. The main reason being I know I couldn't kill him, and I'd rather just play conservative. So I shuffle back my resources and then draw a card, and then just pass. He's going to activate Nadir's Servant, which is really good. I don't even Ash this, and I have double Judgment, by the way. I don't even use any of my resources. I just want to hold them. He's going to get Ecclesia, get Fleur-de-Lis. I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't matter what he summons. He's going to summon, activate Fleur-de-Lis. I'm going to chain Bow Wow, add Dropsies, add Flamsies. And then I'm going to activate Pandemonium, make Battle Butler, and then you're just going to see that he's basically going to lose from here. I trigger all 4 effects. I'm going to trigger 1 Water, 2 Fire, 3 Wind, 4 Field Spell because I summoned a Fusion. And then he's going to activate Talons to draw 2. I'm going to Ash it. And then I'm going to activate Battle Butler, Tribute, and destroy everything. I actually realized I was under Lancia, so Meow Meow couldn't have been banished, and that this should have went in the graveyard, but it literally doesn't matter, because I had game regardless. So that definitely was a misplay on my part, but it just did. I had game next turn, so but we definitely do learn from those. Lancia does stop Meow Meow from working, so that's something to keep in mind. The next game we're gonna show is actually against Infernobles. So we have Raythic Thighs over here playing the variant of Infernobles, and we're going second. We open up 3 hand traps and no way to play, which is actually unlucky. We play basically I think 13 pranks, so we had a 93% chance to see one, and of course we don't see it, right? So at that point we have we basically punish him because he's playing like the what build is it called? It's the VFD combo, but you'll see the weakness of the VFD combo right here in action. Send 4, make Oliver, make this. At this point, like, I literally don't have to do anything. Like, I can just nib him all the way at end phase, which is like really important. Like, or like this is like just crazy, right? Like the fact that I can just go all the way until the end of his combo to nib him. And that's like one of the fundamental weaknesses of this. I'm gonna chain nib, make him lose everything, make a token. He's gonna activate this, make tokens. I'm like, okay, sure, that's fine. Bring back that. He doesn't play Power Tool because the VFD variant doesn't play Power Tool. But look, I draw for turn and I draw Pandemonium. Like come on, yo. I had 13. I could have drawn 13 prank kids, yo. Like 12 prank kids. Like there's so many cards I could have drawn. And I guess like he just literally wins because guess what? Never punish. I try to Unicorn against Negate. I try to draw 2 cards. Upstart, draw into another card. I lose the game. Never punish. But now I get to go first. I drew my 1-card combo plus Ash plus Solemn Judgment. So I just do the 1-card combo. So I'm just gonna speed through it. You guys should know the combo by now, if you guys have watched my videos. So we're just gonna do the 1-card combo real quick. Add back Pranks, add back Pandemonium, make 2, make Bow Wow, trigger, draw Imperm. Like this is just the nuts. I mean, we have Imperm, Ash, Judgment, and then we have like an Avarice every turn. Like the setup is already too crazy. So we're gonna draw a card. We draw Thunder Dragon Fusion. He's gonna Feather Duster top deck. We Judgment that. He's got a Heritage. I'm like, that's fine. He's got a normal summon Dolphin. I'm like, hold up. He said, I just want to show you Driver Keck W basically. And I'm like, I bet. Do this. I'm gonna basically Butler him on this. And then he basically is gonna lose. He's gonna get Shade Brigadine. Then use the effect of Fire Flint. I know he has Reynold in hand. Battle Butler again. Yeah, he dies next turn. He gets OTK'd. So he scoops that. And now I'm going to go second again. You're going to see that I opened up Nib and Ash. And he opened up not too great. You're going to see the fundamental weakness of this deck again. He can't play post Nib. And he like didn't draw that well. So, I mean, at this point, he recognizes I probably have a Nib in hand, so he plays very conservative. He adds back the Gearfried to hand, and there's literally no way for him to summon Gearfried and then pre-equip Phoenix Blade. So he just passes on this. I draw a 1-card combo. I respect here actually. I respect the Nib. I thought he might have had Nib because he bricked. So I went for a very conservative, safe play, which is what you're gonna see here. What I decided to do was basically, instead of trying to OTK him, which I could have made Access Code and Battle Butler. I decided to basically just set up and play very passive. You see that I make Battle Butler here and just attack. And dump plan, I attack, and then I pretty much pass. So I have double Raigeki Nib. I'm like, there's no way he plays through double Raigeki Nibs anyways. So he's gonna make Isolde as connector. I let him use Isolde effect because it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna basically Raigeki him on resolution. He's gonna summon Gearfried, but I'm like, that doesn't matter. Like, I wasn't even afraid of him going to Gearfried. If he goes to battle phase, he loses his battle phase and he can't play anyways. So like, either or, I was in a really good position. Like, there was just no way for him to bait Gearfried. And like you see, he makes Metal Marcher here, and then I'm gonna use Butler. Butler is actually not once per chain, guys, so watch this play. I'm gonna use Butler effect. He's gonna get chain Gearfried, then I'm gonna chain Butler, chain link 3. and I wipe his whole board. And as you can probably tell, it's GG from here. I did some funny plays, but yeah, GG. I had Thunder Dragon Fusion, Lamsies. There's no way he wins. So that's pretty much going to be the game. So I'm just going to fast forward through the plays. I mean, it just didn't even matter what he had, because even if he had Nib, I just Thunder Dragon Fusion. I had Tactics. Like, it just didn't matter. If he had Nib, I just didn't respect it, because I can Tactics, take his Nib, activate Thunder Dragon Fusion, attack, GG. So it just like didn't matter. And then you'll see that I just game him. Then I'm gonna show you guys now a replay against a rogue deck, which is Invoked Mech Knights. We're going first, and I'm gonna show you guys how this deck plays through a lot of like disruption. So he has 2 hand traps, and I'm gonna show you how exactly I played through 2 hand traps. I'm gonna make right there, make the bird. He's gonna Valor the bird, which is fine. I make a second bird, and guess what? He Valors it again. So I'm like, okay, bet. So from here, I'm gonna make Bow Wow. And then draw a card. I drew into Tactics, which is broken. This deck has a lot of crazy top decks, so the Roxy's is generally like OP. I can then activate Tactics. I look at his hand. I rip out the Pank. Then I activate Instant Fusion, bring back the thing, bring back Doodlebird. I haven't used Doodlebird effect yet, so I can add Pandemonium, get access to my Fusion spell. From here, I set 1. I don't set Imperm because I knew he had Feather Duster. He's going to top deck Lightning Storm. He's going to Lightning Storm me. I'm going to chain the Bow Wow, which means he can't pop my monsters, and all my monsters are immune. He has the Tactics, but if he tried to use it to draw 2, I'll Ash it, which is his only line of play. And so I was actually in a pretty good spot, and then he pretty much concedes. I go first again, but this hand isn't the greatest. I bricked. Like I said, I have 15 Prank Kids, and I still don't see one. It's a 92% chance, and for some reason we brick. So I just scoop, and he kills me the next turn. I go first again to give it another try. You're going to see me actually play through all of this. He has Feather Duster, Nibiru, Lightning Storm, Purple, right? Like, he opened up the nuts. But you're going to see how Thunder Dragon Fusion is just so good. Just watch this. Like, he's going to do the correct thing, which is to nib me all the way at the end of my combo. But this is why Thunder Dragon Fusion is really good, because it helps you recover and it guarantees you get a follow-up. So this is going to be really, really good, and showcases why Thunder Dragon Fusion is an insane card. He's going to be like on res. I even try to skip end phase. I'm like set. I skip end phase. He waits for me to end main, which is really, really smart on him, because if I set Pandemonium, then I can't use it. So that's why I actually hold one of the Pandemoniums in my hand. So it was definitely like correct for him to hold Nib all the way to the end. But Thunder Dragon Fusion is insane here, because Thunder Dragon Fusion is going to let me basically play through the Nib. And so he still has to play through Raigeki, double Raigeki actually, and I get all my resources back, so that's pretty free. And I have Pandemonium, so I'm feeling pretty good. Shuffle back 3, and I draw another card. We're out here, baby. So we drew into a win. He's going to heavy Feather Duster me, which I definitely didn't expect. I'm going to chain Pandemonium here. And chain Imperm. The reason I chain Imperm is because if he plays a Mech Knight in this column or sets cards in this column, then it's going to get negated. So so I just wanted to see if he misplayed that. I then make Weather Washer and then trigger both those effects to summon 2. He's going to try to attack the Battle Bowler, but I'm going to use the effect to Raigeki him. I definitely misplayed. I should have summoned Battle Bowler in defense because of Lightning Storm, so that was a misplay on my part, but you're going to see that I still actually don't lose this game. Oh, also, when he Lightning Storms the Battle Bowler, Battle Bowler has an effect to Reborn, so I Reborn back Doodlebird, so keep that in mind. You're going to see right here that he's going to make a bunch of cool plays, and he's going to go for the Lib. Lib's going to set Secession back thing, add back, like, memory. He doesn't play the trap because he's a go second variant, and he kills you most of the time. He's going to go Unicorn. He forgot to actually use Lib's effect, but it actually doesn't matter because I'm going to make a 1-card access combo and kill him. And you see that I drew into Call By. I link into Meow Meow. And I remember, keep in mind, I had Thunder Dragon Fusion in my graveyard too. So like, even if I didn't have anything left, I knew that he didn't have any disruption. All he had was a memory, so I can just banish Thunder Dragon Fusion and then get immediate access to any Prank Kid and then like pretty much OTK him. So you're gonna see me here do Bird, make a bunch of plays. So you're gonna see me like sequence my plays here. Make Bow Wow, trigger, draw a card. Make Unicorn, force out his back row. Make access effect, banish. and I'm gonna OTK him. So that's pretty much game, guys. Even through like the craziest draws, man. Look at this, man. We got Nib, we got Feather Duster, we got Lightning Storm, like we got Imperm. Like, I mean, that was just crazy, man. And we still won, which goes to show us how good and resilient this deck really is, especially with the Thunder Dragon build. The next game that we're gonna show is actually against Dino DNA. This is gonna be probably the last replay we show. Dino is actually one of the worst matchups for this deck, but I think it's still a really, really good match to show. I'm going to normal summon Fansies, and I get Gamut on the effect, which is, he knows how the deck functions, so he definitely hand-trapped that correctly. Unfortunately, I didn't have an extender. I had Call By, but like, he didn't have Ash, he just had that. He goes Terraforming. He's going to get Lost Ward, and he actually makes a slight mishaps here. If he went normal summon Miss, it would have been better, but there's no way he could have predicted Call By the Grave, which is a 1-of, so I Call By him, and he passes. I attack. I had nothing, which is kind of unlucky, but he also didn't draw nothing, so we were kind of just like top decking. But I mean, I should have been top decking like a prank, because I literally have 14 other pranks in my deck, and I didn't draw one. I normal summon the Lamses, and from here I try to make as many plays as I can. I'm going to make the bird. He's actually going to try to target the Doodle Bird, but I'm going to show you a cool technical play here. We can actually chain the plan here to actually link summon with the bird so that Imperm misses. Make Bow Wow, and then we still get triggers from all the effects, which is really neat. We're going to make Rocket Ride effect. We're going to bring back, Doodle Bird and Bow Wow, effect of Bow Wow now. Activate Thunder Dragon Fusion. We're going to make Butler. You link those two into a bird. We drew off of the Roxy's, summon the water. Because we drew fire, we activate Pandemonium, make a second Butler, and then that's basically 8,000. But 8,000 minus 1,500 for 3 monsters because of Lost Ward is still game. So we basically OTK him. And then he's going to go first, so we're going to see us go second now against this deck. You're going to see that he opens up really, really crazy. He goes Anemadorn, Chainlink 1, then he goes Chain Miss, and then he pops the Petite. But I'm going to ask the Petite. I told him add Pill because he forgot to add Pill. So he adds Pill, and then basically what he's going to do is he's going to make Secure Garnet, activate Double Eagle Pill, summon the UCT. From here, he went straight to in phase, and I'm like, yo, you misplayed, but I told him, look, I want to play your Dino board at its best, and I want to see the most optimal end board. So I told him, yo, look, banish 2 for Miss, summon Baby, trigger Baby, summon Overraptor, and then trigger Overraptor, add Miss. You could have also like pop Baby, add summon Baby, and then on my turn activate UCT, pop Baby, summon Overraptor on my turn, then add the Miss. But regardless, I think it's either or. Gets it earlier, doesn't really matter. I top deck place for turn, and you're gonna see me show why place is like really, really strong. I go normal summon Roxy's, and he doesn't do nothing. I asked him for res. Then I'm gonna go Chainlink 1 Rocks, and then Chainlink 2 Feel Spell. He tries to Ash here, but then I told him, nah. Look at my Chainlinks again. So that's a cool way to chain block the Ash. So I make all his monsters lose 500 attack. Then I'm going to summon Water. I asked him for res, and he says nothing. I go Chainlink 1 Bird, Chainlink 2 Water. He's going to Ash the Water. And I'm like, okay, sure. Activate Pandemonium, make Rocket Ride, and on resolution, after I trigger both effects, he's going to basically book all my monsters. But that's where Doodle Bird is going to be really strong. I'm going to activate Doodle Bird to add back Pandemonium and add back Fansies. So, cool interaction. You can actually use face-down monsters as fusion materials. I know they can't be used as link materials or XYZ materials. We can actually use face-down monsters you control for fusion materials, except for Super Poly because it's not public knowledge. From here, we're going to activate Pandemonium and then basically trigger Place to make my monster gain 500 attack. Why this is very cool technical play is because I triggered the Place twice. First, to make him lose 500 from Link Summoning, and then second, because I Fusion Summon, I make my monster 3,500. So my monster's at 3,500, and his UCT is now at 3,000, which means I can attack and force the UCT. He's going to activate Miss on resolution, and I'm going to chain Battle Butler to basically pop his UCT. In hindsight 2020, I should not have used Battle Butler's effect because I could have just attacked over UCT, but I didn't know the ruling with if he activates UCT. I don't know if he gains back 500 attack or not, because it says that they're unaffected, but I think because this resolved already, if he activated Miss, yeah, he still wouldn't gain any attack. He wouldn't gain back his attack that he lost off of the play, so I definitely misplayed there. But I'm going to go Tactics to draw 2, and of course I get unlucky. I was trying to draw into hand traps because I knew that Thunder Dragon Fusion to recover. But you're going to see that I get Thunder Dragon Fusion is going to come in clutch here. I get Battle Butler, and then he's going to actually nib me. But the cool thing with this is if he nibs Battle Butler, I actually can use this effect to actually reborn any non-fusion monster, so I can actually bring back the Doodle Bird. But the reason why I don't is because he has Mist for 4 on his turn. So I didn't want him to kill me with extra damage if I summon the bird. So I prefer not to summon it. From here, he's going to top deck another thing. He's going to summon the Oviraptor by banishing 4. Adds Animadorn, normal summon Animadorn, gets Pill. Link those two into Pentastag. And then he's going to activate Pill. I think he tried to go for game there, but he I think miscalculated or something. So he attacks. So I take 35. He attacks that. I take 1,000 piercing. I take 1,000 off its effect. Then he's gonna go Pentastag Ag. But on attack of Pentastag, I'm actually gonna use Plan to reduce his damage by shuffling back my Prank Kids cards. So I'm gonna shuffle back a bunch of resources, like 6, just so that I take 600 less damage. So I gain back 600 life here. I top deck Thunder Dragon Fusion, which is going to be insane because on summon, he's going to basically Tyranno me. And then I'm going to activate Tactics. I'm going to activate this to draw a card to add Fancy Sword so I can thin out my deck. Then I'm going to activate this to draw 2. And then from here, I activate Pranks. Pranks discard Fancies, and then activate Thunder Dragon Fusion, shuffling everything back. I make the Battle Butler, and then use Field Spell effect to make myself gain 500 attack. And then I'm going to make the Meow Meow, and then basically trigger Field Spell again to make him lose 500 attack. And then I can attack over UCT, takes 500, attack with Meow Meow, and then, I mean, it's pretty much going to be game over from here. Like, he just can't do anything. He has double nib, so, I mean, I OTK him next turn. And, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and all of the replays. I know it was like a pretty long video, but I figured that I wanted to show you guys like the meat and bones and like the meat, I guess the meat and potatoes as people would call it, rather than just give you a deck profile and just a combo. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as always, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on Prank Kids. Are you guys convinced yet or not yet? Like I said, I think this is gonna be a tier 1 deck when Phantom Rage does come out. So definitely stay excited because this deck is really gonna shape the meta. I think a lot of hype is placed on Zodiacs and, like, you know, Zeus, Neologia. Don't get me wrong, those are amazing cards, but, you know, Dryden Zoo puts up 1 Dryden Pass, which is 1 pop. Bro, we put up Battle Butler. That's double Raigeki. So I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But anyways, thank you so much for attending, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.